Now we're live. Episode number 20. A nice round number.
Yeah.
Got my guy Lamarr Howard in here. I appreciate you being here, man.
I appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. So why don't we start out telling the people who you are. You're repping the Big Game Official shirt. Tell the people who you are, what you do, and kind of your involvement with basketball reffing.
Okay. I am Lamarr Howard. I am a basketball official. Started off with Big Game Official. Started off Big Game Officials in early this year in January. You want me to start from the beginning?
Not yet. So start out just like what you're doing right now. So what your role is with Big Game Officials, and then what like age groups you're reffing.
Okay. So as of right now, I am with Big Game Officials. I am pretty much helping out the youth. Sarah Woods has created Big Game Officials, Junior Big Game Officials. It's a program for teens from age 13 to 18 who wants to learn about becoming a basketball official. We need basketball officials. And the program that she started is so good because she getting them ready early. And honestly, how I feel, if I would have known about basketball officiating, especially in college, to not only make some extra money just to stay in the game, oh man, I would have stuck with it. But what she's doing right now, like I said, she's attacking the youth, and we got some really good young officials that's eager to learn. They've been consistent showing up to practice. We had a event last weekend at the Center of St. Louis, and it was kids, the BGO juniors doing championship games. It takes a lot of courage to jump out there and be a referee, no matter what level. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of them. So right now I'm just pretty much teaching as I had some games where I was with young officials, and they learning. So I'm out there teaching, giving them all the advice. Any questions they ask, I help them. And the good thing about it is they have enough courage to jump out there and try.
So you're full-time Big Game Officials as opposed to like reffing high school games, stuff like that.
So as of now, I'm beginning the process of high school officiating and also women's college basketball.
Nice. So my schedule is busy, but anything that Big Game Officials need from me, I'm always there. As long as my schedule allow me to. But anything Big Game Officials, I'm there. But so helping mentor kind of the next generation of refs through Big Game Officials, and then also beginning to dip your toes in women's college hoops and reffing games. So now let's kind of backtrack. Take us through the journey, the steps along the way of how you got to this point in your reffing career.
I'm gonna give you the truth. This is the truth.
That's what we're here for.
I have a partner named Theo Boykin. Graduated 2003 from Hazelwood East. That's my guy. We played basketball together. He reached out to me about refereeing a long time ago, and it was through CNR. I jumped out there, and I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing. I did it for a minute, but my job at that time, I couldn't referee as much as I wanted to. So I kind of I left refereeing alone. Then a year went by. My other partner, my dog, his name was Walter Willis, class of 04, Normandy. They had a squad back then too. His brother is a basketball trainer at Woes, and that's where Sarah does her practice at. And he reached out to me like, Lamarr, I know this lady named Sarah that she's looking for referees and everything like that. I told her about you. Are you interested? Yeah, I'm interested. And I reached out to her. She put me on. And I had some games at the Center of St. Louis. I walked in there with my daughter, and I froze before the first game. Before the first game, you hear the parents going off, and I pulled Sarah to the side. I said, I don't think I can do this. And she was like, "Oh, Lamarr, are you sure? I can't do this." When I got in the car, drove home, I looked at my daughter. I'm like, damn, I quit. Mm-hmm. And she was like, Dad, why you didn't even try? And I said, you're right. What? I had to look myself in the mirror. I say, what's the worst gonna happen? What, how would I ever learn if I don't go through? So I called Sarah back, asked her for a second chance, and she said, Lamarr, okay, I'm gonna give you a second chance. And through her training, practicing, reading, watching videos, through Sarah Wood's training, built my confidence to the position I am right now.
So that day, when you show up to Center St. Louis for your first game that you're reffing, mm-hmm. before that, what type of training or what type of experience did you have?
You talking about before her training?
Yeah, so like your boy, I forget what his... Walter, that put you on, got you in contact with Sarah. Mm-hmm. From that point mm-hmm. that you got in contact with her to that game at Center, mm-hmm. what type of like training or reffing experience did you have?
She has she has training at Woes, and she had this one camp, BGO camp, and she had a whole bunch of referees at Woes, and it was just mechanical training, learning, closed fist foul, open hand violation. We're going through everything. She has classroom work with a big board to learn the primary areas where we supposed to be positioned at, where to make calls. It's school.
Yeah.
And she send out videos, she, giving the rule book, just learning the game on the other side. Because I can play all day, but being a referee is different. And when you have somebody that break down how to do something, and she's patient, and then she's open to questions that you don't understand, you can't help but learn. You can't help but just like, okay, all right, this ain't too bad. Okay, I'm getting, my biggest thing, what I've learned was, every time I go on the court, I'm gonna treat it like it's a championship game. Get 1% better every game, not the whole 100, just 1%, and that just built my confidence. So from that time, Walter, to my first game, when Walter told me about it, to my first game, just all training.
So you're like on the complete opposite side now.
Yes.
Like you're giving the training, mm-hmm. like you were once in the position of the player or the refs that you're training now.
Absolutely.
That's got to feel cool, like a kind of full circle moment.
Yeah, man. Like I told you a few weekends ago, we was at Center St. Louis, and that's when the big game official juniors got the opportunity to get on the court, because they've been doing all the training at Woes with Sarah. So when they got on the court, my first game, young man named Braylon, he 15, and I'm going to court with him. It's 2-man, so I'm like, okay, well, let's go. For me, through all being on the court with him, and that got me to a point where, okay, now I'm teaching. When I first started, somebody was patient with me. I'm patient with him, no matter, and it was a tough game, but I got you. That's what you do on the court, no matter the age. But with him, he's a young man. I got you. Don't worry about it. I told the coaches, don't worry about it. Either whether the coach liked it or not, I'm gonna protect my partner. But yes, that was fun. And I really enjoyed teaching. That was fun.
So you said, you used the term protecting your partner, mm-hmm. and then you said that you're like communicating with the coaches, mm-hmm. just telling them what it is.
Yes.
What other ways, in terms of like protecting your partner, he's kind of younger or whatever, what other ways does that manifest on the court, protecting your partner?
You already know how it is. When coaches, especially in the heat of a game, the coaches want to win, the players want to win, the parents want their kid to win. So my goal with him, when the game was intense, protecting him, I just know, telling the coaches, even I told him before the game, this young man's in training, you know what I'm saying? But coach, I got it, and to watch that young man, but for us, to answer your question, to protect him, like for instance, if he missed the call, I got to step in and get it, especially if it's obvious.
Okay.
If I see, because if I'm trail and he leads, and most of the fouls is in the paint, going to the basket. I seen the player get fouled, and Braylon didn't call it, or whoever, he didn't call it. I got to step in because it's my job to protect the players, and I pull Braylon to say, hey, blow that whistle, blow it. And then as I watched throughout the game, he blowing it, but he blow it, but he may rush to the table and do something, but we can correct that. It's just repetition. Giving him that confidence on the court. You're going to get better. Just keep sticking with it. Ain't nobody going to mess with you. You good.
That is like one of your superpowers, I feel like. Your strengths is having been in that position.
Absolutely.
Right. Like what's going through their head, like what they're going through. Mm-hmm. So like back to that game at Center St. Louis, mm-hmm. when you told Sarah, I just can't do it. Mm-hmm. What were you, like what made you decide that? Just hearing like the way parents were talking to the refs, or what was it?
Making mistakes.
You were thinking about you making mistakes.
Yes. Because, I'm human. Referees are human. And you make a mistake, everybody's yelling at you. You heard the verbal. You heard, oh, ref, how you missed that? Blah, blah, this. You hear all that. And I'm looking around like, I don't think I can do this. Just the constant yelling, the coaches, the players, they but it's they amp. They want to win, and they want every call. And I froze up. I'm like, man, I ain't finna do this. I don't like getting yelled at. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what, just making mistakes. Like, damn, what if I'm wrong? Was I tripping? Can I handle that? Can you really handle, especially in a tight game, 70-70, 2 seconds left? Can I make that call? Is it the right call? It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot.
Yeah. And so earlier you mentioned that you need refs. And that's something I've been hearing for years. There's a shortage of referees.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling on Twitter. Their coaches are posting links to Misha's website to register. Like, we need refs. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's been a thing for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is? Is it because of what you're saying, like the pressure of it, getting yelled at?
Or why we don't have refs? Or just, okay, well, yeah. I mean, we need refs, but, a lot of people can't handle that pressure of being yelled at. Because the referees, we have to know everything. Everything. I'm to the point now, big shout out to Jerron Dent.
Huge shout out to Jerron Dent.
When you see him out there, it's like, this dude, he don't miss nothing.
Yeah.
But he controls the whole game to the point where it was nice. It was very good to work with him and Lewis and Clark this summer. Lewis and Clark. He had to control the game to the point where, the players come out at the beginning of the game, hey, tuck your jerseys in. No wristbands, no earrings. And the ball go up, right? White get the ball. He blows the whistle. Hey, coach, he need a sub. His shirt not tucked in. Subbing right up. I'm looking like he has that much. That's where the experience come in, and that's where I want to be. So to go back to your question, as far as needed referees, we need that. I would love for former players, especially in the example I gave you when I was in college. I wish I would have refed to keep myself in the game and to make some extra money on the side. I feel like, yeah.
Do you watch All the Smoke podcast? No. Or not All the Smoke. It's a podcast it was on All the Smoke, but Kevin Garnett was on a podcast with Matt Barnes and Steve Jackson. Mm-hmm. And he was telling a story about Gary Payton and how he controls the whole floor.
Right.
As he's backing someone down, he's saying, hey, cut here, screen here. And then KG like is overemphasizing it. So he's talking about Gary Payton, like backing him down and then talking to the ball boy and talking to the opposing coach and getting everyone organized. That's how I view Jerron Dent reffing.
That's the best example. That's perfect. I get speechless because when I work with him, I'm watching, I'm like, I got to get like that. I have to.
Yeah.
And he told me last time I talked to him a few weekends ago, he said, Lamarr, people think I'm crazy. I'll be at Target in the grocery store practicing my mechanics. I got to step it up, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you want to get to a higher level and just having respect for the game, you want to be on point. You want to. Even if it's a first grade game, you want to give your best and treat it like a championship game because the game is about the players. So they can showcase their skills and for the love of the game. I love basketball.
Yeah. And so so the games that you ref are through big game officials?
In the beginning, they was.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it now?
I did some fall. I just got done doing some fall basketball at Lewis and Clark College, high school varsity. And that was a great opportunity for me. So right now I've been getting opportunities and getting reps in before the real season starts. And that's what I've been doing. Big game officials, we have when we have little tournaments and everything like that, I'm there. But right now I'm getting ready for, the real season. And that's high school and women's college basketball, junior college.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you've reffed high school, college, and then what's the youngest? First grade, second grade?
Mm-hmm. But through Sarah Wood's program, she started me off with, the lower levels. And that was great. You get the experience of starting from the bottom and working your way up. I was at Woles, Tandy, Matthew Dickey. I was at Villa de Shin. I went to Holy Spirit. So she'll put you she'll start you off from the bottom, little league, and just, gain your confidence. Get those reps in. That's the only way you get better. You got to get on the court. You're going to make mistakes. Correct your mistakes, especially if you really want to do this. Only thing I'm missing right now, I'm ordering a tripod. I need to film myself more. So, through her training, starting from the bottom, just build my confidence tremendously.
All right. I've got two questions in mind. Mm-hmm. I want to go, because I'm real curious, because you mentioned a tripod. Mm-hmm. And so we've brought up Sarah Woods, owner of Big Game Officials. Mm-hmm. Want to give a huge shout out to Sarah, because when we first met, mm-hmm. that day, leading up to that day, me and her had talked on the phone to organize that scrimmage,
right?
With the players that I train. Mm-hmm. And so as I was diving into what Big Game Officials was about and everything that goes into it, it just blew my mind, bro. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. I mean, I guess I had some idea, but it was just insane to me how much detail goes into it. The hand signals, how you talk to coaches, filming yourself, right, doing the hand signals. There was a reel that they had posted on Instagram where Jerron is giving them financial literacy advice and opening a bank account. And it's all the bases are covered. And so I feel like having gone through that training, that's just got to give you a ton of confidence.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Jerron Dent, this what sticks out with me with him. And when he speaks, he said that my body is my business. Lamarr changed his way of eating.
He's big on that.
I changed. I was, Sarah gonna laugh. I am a honey hot chicken, fries. I was that. I'm that guy. And once you get out there, running up down the, especially with high school varsity, I had to get in shape. Boys, boys and girls. You want to be in shape, but high school varsity boys, I was like, oh no. I ain't got time to be injured. You know, I have to be available. I have to be in the best shape. So I changed my way of eating. I got more rest. You know, I lost weight, you know, so I be in the gym more. I'm lifting weights. I want to be the best I can be. I want to look the part. Then when I'm on the court, I got my rest. I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready to give 100% to the game because I'm respecting the game. You know, I got to serve the game. So, yeah.
I think that is a very underrated part of reffing is the physical aspect of it. Because, I mean, even with me thinking about it, like, okay, if it's a 2-man group, you're probably going from baseline to half court back and forth.
Yeah.
But even that, especially like high school boys, like you mentioned, like they're getting up and down.
They're getting up and down.
You could get a real workout.
Absolutely. You know, and then when I was at Lewis and Clark, you know, it was, I guess it was probably me and Jerron. We was there. I was supposed to work with him my first game, but it was a little mess up in the time schedule for, you know, whatever. But me and Jerron had to split up and work games by ourselves.
Damn.
And that's where, you know, that's the challenge right there. And it's high school boys. I can't be messing. You know, I don't mess around no game, but now, you know, it's only me out there. You got to be ready for that. And you have to be in shape. You ain't saying, and I learned that in that first game. I ain't got to be running all around the court to see everything. You just find your position on the court and just make sure you be able to see everything. Do the best you can. But yes, what you eat, physical fitness, health, that's very important. That's very important.
Jerron, I mean, he, so again, that day that we met, we had scrimmaged. And then me and Jerron had stayed after.
I seen the video.
Okay, bet. Yeah, so we filmed a YouTube video. The guy that filmed it also works out with me. And so during the scrimmage, he had something with his ankle or like he bumped something. So he left the scrimmage, went to ER, and then came back.
Jerron did?
No.
One of the players.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then Jerron is talking to him about it. And then he's recommending like turmeric and ginger and stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about.
I just bought some ginger.
Yeah. It's good for that digestion.
Yes.
What other stuff has he put you onto that you didn't already know in terms of like health and fitness?
It's pretty much simple. Just he doesn't eat meat. You know, like I said, for me, it ain't gonna happen overnight. But just more fruits, more vegetables, getting your rest. He, you know, just breaking. Then the financial part. It's a lot. I got a lot of stuff written down. But with me, what I did was I'm taking baby steps. You know, I'll go crazy. You know, anybody go crazy trying to overload all that. So, but with Jerron, what he's taught me now, really what sticks out more outside of eating healthy and everything. And I got to be a shout out to the guy named Tabari as well. Learning about the flow of the game. And what I mean by that is just knowing the type of game that we are refereeing. If you got two really high competitive teams, you know, you just how can I explain? Knowing that like if this game is going to be physical. We already see it, you know, we watching in warm-ups and we, in the beginning of the game, okay, this is going to be a physical game. You know, we got to watch these guys in the post. And just, when I mean overall, just the flow. Can't call certain things. Not saying you call the obvious, but like these boys, it's physical. You can't call the little ticky-tack fouls. Got to let them play a little bit. You know, so that's one thing I'm working on is game management. That's the answer. Game management. Because I've been to some games, I call a foul. Hey, man, you messing up the flow of the game. And then it's like, you know, you think like, damn, I really am. All right. But you got to move on, you know. But then, like I said, that comes with repetition.
Yeah. Let's not let the fans in the stands hear that you're hearing people say something and then you're thinking, oh, damn, you might be right.
And you got to, you know.
Let's not let them hear that.
No, never. You stand on your call and, you know, on to the next play. But the mistakes that you may make, You got to let it go and move on and just correct them, not to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah. So game management, flow of the game, to allow the players to determine how the game is called might not be the best way to put it. But when you say flow of the game and game management, is it like, okay, 60 seconds in the game, you can tell they're really like, there's 2, 6, 8 guys, they're banging in the post. Okay, we're going to let them play, comma, okay, these two teams like to get up and down. Are we going to maybe like be more lenient with calls? Is it like, when you say flow of the game, game management, is it like getting a feel for how the players are playing right, and then kind of adjusting how you're calling it?
Exactly. So if I call, just me and my crew have to be on the same page. So if I call a certain type of foul, we got, and you'll hear it, and if let's say I call a foul in the post, let's say, I call a foul in the post, and on the other end, I don't call that same foul down there. Then the coach be like, hey, it's the same foul. So you got to keep the game even. Especially then sometimes you look at the team fouls. One team may have 2, the other one got 7. Come on now. The game ain't that perfect, so you got to watch that. And also with game flow, now I'm to the point where who got the most points? Who in foul trouble? What's the team fouls? What's the score? Then we got to throw the shot clock in. I'm learning, like, what's the shot clock looking like? Who watching this? It just position it. It's the game flow. Game management it's everything. But as far as play calling, you just got to, if I call it down here, I got to call it down there. And always call the obvious. You got to call it, because the whole gym going to go crazy.
Yeah. Especially, I bet we'll touch on that later. I want to focus on something you just said was, so like the time, score, mm-hmm, shot clock. Mm-hmm. How do those play into how you officiate? Those are probably 3 very different questions.
So in 3-man, okay, let me say this. So as far as the clock, and I learned this from Jerron, and it helps out a lot, just being in the game. Be in the game. He told me that. Be in the game. Be in the game. So, and all it does is help you get better, because because every time we handle, let's say, as soon as that ball go up, I'm down, Jerron throw the ball up, my hand up, as soon as they tip it, the other player, the player get the ball in, game in, chop that clock, chop, that means start the clock. I'm watching the clock, okay, 10 minutes. They score, you let the game go, you just always watching that clock, just glance at it. So for me, that helped me. I'm in the game. I know the score. I know if this team up by 20, or we got a back and forth game. It's 1.2 point game. Team fouls. Got to know that. Who's gonna be in the bonus in the next foul? Which player got the most fouls? Who's the star player? How many points he got? Okay, all right. This bench is getting too rowdy. The assistant coach keep jumping up. Hey, coach. Assistant player got to sit down. You got to control your bench. Giving you a warning. It's everything. Now that's, like I said, game flow. It's a whole lot that is so much. It's deep. It's deep on the refereeing side, because we are the ones that got to manage and keep the game in control so the players can showcase their skills.
So you just listed off 8, 9 different things: the assistant coach, the time, score, the players that the foul's being called on. Like, you just named 8 different things. It's one thing to receive training and read about the rules, mm-hmm, and like watch a presentation about something and like the hand signal. It's like, it's one thing to absorb the information, mm-hmm, but then how do you go from there to being able to ref high school boys, college girls, like high level basketball? Is it just a matter of experience, getting reps, just like anything else?
Yeah. You got to jump out there.
Yeah.
You have to. And that's what anything in life. You want to get better, you got to go through. I jumped out there. And we go back, I quit. I quit. But I'm glad I went back, because it changed me off the court as well. But on the court, I love it. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy because I'm learning and it's fun. And I'm seeing all these athletes showcasing their skills, and it's to the point where, okay, which kid going D1? Okay, which kid going to, it's so much fun, man. And to observe, to all the information I told you, we ain't even talk about possession. You know what I mean? Like jump ball. Okay.
Yeah.
You know how many times I messed up on that? Like who go black? It's everything. So we can look at it on a sheet of paper, but you got to get out there. If I call a foul on a shot, right? Foul, blue 42. But Jerron looking like, is it on the floor? Because when I call it foul, I would do 2. That means 2 shots. If I just do this and walk to the table, Jerron looking like, is it on the floor? No, it's 2 shots. Well, why didn't you put the 2 up? It's the communication between me and him, Primaries. If Jerron if you and Trail on the left side and I'm lead and I messed up. Player went down on Jerron. I called a travel. And you, as a coach, Lamarr, how did you see that? And Jerron looking at me. No, that's my call. Because when I looked on, my daughter recorded me. When I looked at it, his back is towards me. How can I see that? So we can't make, we're not supposed to make calls outside our primary. That's what 3-man referees is the best, because we got more eyes out there. That helps a lot. 2-man, you can't see everything. You got to work a little harder. But 3-man, that makes the game a whole lot easier.
In the video me and Jerron made, he broke that down, the 3-man crew, and how they, like in a half-court setting, they form a triangle. And then there's this like, so like if I'm facing the basket, I'm at the top of the 3-point line, there will be a ref on like in that left corner baseline area.
That's the lead.
And then one on the sideline to the left of me.
Like in the middle? No.
Somewhat.
So
we got to start like, I got to get my editing skills up, like have a whiteboard that we can edit or something. But
it's simple. I'm going to give you an example. So like, let's say you at the top of the 3-point line. There's a vision, you have court 3-point line, right? You facing the basket. And I'm the trail. We're on the left side of the court. Well, so let's say right now you facing the basket. I'm the basket.
Yep.
Trail, that's the baseline. Lead, then you got C. C is in the middle, free throw line extended, right?
Okay.
I would definitely need a board to explain the primary areas, but like if the ball is on the left on this side, that's all Jerron. That's all him. But I'm not staring at the ball. I'm not ball watching because I got to watch these post players. But through my peripheral, that's when I learned I'm in the game. Yeah, I'm wide enough I'm watching my primary, but I could peek over a little bit, because the game is so fast that he can drive to the basket and come my primary. Oh, it's time. What's gonna happen? I'm giving you all this like patient whistle. Patient whistle. I do men's league sometimes, and now that's rough.
Yeah.
I will never forget my first men's league. I don't mean to quit talking. I know you got more questions, but
that's the whole point, is to talk.
Yep, but it's just experiences, because men's league, Center St. Louis, this player, man, they both went up aggressive, and I'm like, damn, they high. And the defensive player, he swung, I called it. Then I put my head down. He blocked that ball. He blocked it. Everybody went crazy, everything. And I stood on my call, and he was like, man, and I learned, and I was just like, in my mind, I fucked up, But I told him, You know, and he told me that was the best thing I ever said. Somebody ever told him. You know, I apologized to him after the game. I apologized. I said, man, look, I messed up on that call. I apologize. And he was like, something. I said, you know, I apologize, but I'll get better. And he was like, man, I ain't never heard a ref say that. You know, but that built my confidence because now I ain't done so many of his games. Watch the defense. Just be patient. I took that and ran with it. Now it was like, damn, they be blocking the hell out the ball. It ain't no foul. You know, it's just things you just learn, like just be patient. Don't anticipate. Just be patient. Let the play go through. Oh, he blocked it. Let's roll. You know.
That's fire, bro. Okay, so do you know who Joe Torre is? He's a baseball manager.
Yes. He's was he with the Yankees back in the day?
Yes.
Yes.
And he actually managed the Cardinals for a minute.
Yeah.
But he, so like managers getting ejected, we've all seen clips probably, like they're just going crazy, yelling, cursing, everything. He would always like come up and just like have a conversation, like real straight face, just like break it down, like what did you see right there type thing. And so what you were saying about the men's league making the call and then like dropping your head made me think of that because I'm sure that happens all the time with refs.
Yes.
They make a call and like immediately they know, nah, I messed that up. But then if you're in your position, that would like compromise the integrity of the game, wouldn't it? If you like make a call and then you're like, oh wait, actually no, never mind.
Can't do that.
You just have to roll with it.
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to. And it sucks, but you got to. You got to. And but that's when the repetitions, like you said earlier, yeah, we can read this on paper all day. We know what a block is. We know what a steal is. But when you get out there, the game is moving. These players can play, even first grade. You know, you try and do everything right. Oh, that's a foul. But damn, no, that was a steal. That was a steal. You know, and your partner will let you know. He'll give you a little like, woo. You know what I'm saying? So, but that only comes from experience. We human. You know, we can't see everything. We gonna make mistakes, but don't make the same mistake twice. And that's when I go back to patient whistle. Now I'm to the point now, I'll call it late. The coach be like, you called it late. But was it right? Yeah. You got to sit there and just watch it. All right, block. That was late. Was it the right call? Yeah, you just blowing that whistle late, dog. You know, so that just come with practice, man.
I see that a lot where like a guy will go up for a layup and then it almost feels like the ref is waiting to see if the ball goes in or not to make the call, which I think in the NBA is a thing. I'm pretty sure they're like trained to wait to see if the ball goes in or not to make the call. Not totally sure on that. But that is something that I see people get upset about is the late call. But when you break it down, it doesn't really make too much sense. Because like you were saying, the call was right, you know?
Me and you out there reffing, right? Me and you, 2-man or 3-man, whatever. Player go to the basket and it's in my primary. But if I'm lead, I'm pretty much anything on the basket I'm watching. But what I've learned, I'm not watching the offense. It's 70% defense, 30% offense. If you go for a layup and I go up with you, I'm watching. If I see players, offensive player go up, I'm watching the defender hands. I'm watching him. No, and while I'm watching the defender, my partners is watching. One partner's watching what's going on up at the top of the key. C is watching that basket. Whatever may how it go, because it may be an and one, you know. But I'm watching we watch the defense. 70% defense, 30% offense. Because that 30% could be, yeah, he went up for a layup, but he extended his elbow. You know what I'm saying? Offensive. Let's go. That's that 30%. But that's that peripheral. That's just being in the game. It's all that.
This is why I've become just super interested with the ins and outs of reffing, because it's a way to, among other things, it's a way to gain an advantage as a trainer talking to his players and players themselves. So you said watching the defender's hands. So like if your offense is driving, defense is kind of on their hip or like 3/4 kind of in front, we're driving downhill, you're mainly watching the defender's hands.
That's it. That's it. That is it. Watching his hands, 70%, 30% offense, he carried. Call it. Catch it. Carry.
Are you looking at the defender's like shoulders and chest? Me and Jerron talked about like, when me and Jerron were talking about like defensive verticality, jumping up to contest.
Yes.
That's when we talked about like shoulders and chest and like turning, legal guarding position versus not. When they're driving, are you watching who's like initiating contact or anything, or is it mostly the hands that you're watching?
That's tough. That's something I'm working on. I had some games over the weekend where an offensive player, he's initiating all the contact. And the 6'7" center, he's straight up. I didn't call it. If your hand's straight up and you ain't moving, what can I call? But what Jerron talking about, that verticality when they twist a little bit, that's tough. That's tough. That comes from just reffing games, because you're gonna see that a lot, and you're just gonna have to make a judgment call on that. And because he can have his hands straight up, but he can twist a little bit. It could be especially when it comes to displacement. That's another thing. Let's say, like you say, he driving down, and he give him a little body, but if he's straight up, but he may turn a little bit and he make the offensive player make some displacement, you got to call it. Especially if it's, hard foul, because the defensive player may be bigger than that offensive player. You got to watch that too, So, but I get what you're saying, but that's something I'm working on.
We also talked about, so like as they're driving, there's sometimes this gap in between them. So offense is driving, defense is sliding, or they're like turning to sprint to like catch up. And so they're parallel with each other. There's this like space in between them. And then we talked about, as a trainer leading up to that video, I was really into, and still am, like driving angles. And like Jalen Brunson is really good at driving and then like veering into them and getting that advantage. There's a certain point where there's a lot of gray area there. And I bet that just has to go on your judgment of like who closes the gap first.
That's tough. That's a tough one. Because Jaylen Brown, he initiated a lot of contact. If you watch him play, he know how to get fouls. He knows how to get it. And then you see it where the defense, his hands is straight up. His hands is straight up. He initiate the contact and he shoot and they call the foul. And the gym go crazy, but at the same time, that's NBA. That's NBA. So but as far as what I've done with high school and women's college, that's just a judgment call.
People list their top 5 in the NBA. Is usually some combination of, you mentioned Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Shea, Embiid. I feel like there's one more I'm forgetting, but the point being that those are all people born outside of the U.S.
Right.
And so there's this narrative. I mean, even you look at the Olympics this summer, like those games are competitive.
Yes, indeed.
South Sudan took the U.S. to like the fourth quarter, crunch time minutes. So the world is kind of catching up to the U.S. for a lot of reasons. As a trainer, I have a lot of thoughts about that. One of the reasons, or one of like the edges that other countries might have over the U.S. is that the way it's officiated is the same.
Right.
Pro, no matter the level, high school, middle school, elementary school, a travel is a travel is a travel
Right.
is a travel.
Indeed.
And then, so the reason I bring that up is because you mentioned, we were talking about like initiating contact, and you were saying like, that's the NBA, different rules. So like, as you're going from level to level, maybe it's like one weekend you're reffing high school guys, or like in the beginning stages, you're getting the reps with the third, fourth graders.
Right.
Like you're bumping around between leagues. Is that like, how big of a factor does that play? How conscious do you have to be of the different rules?
You have to know, you got to read that book. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, so just being prepared before the game. You know, I know before I get on that court, I know which level I'm doing, and I know what I'm expected to showcase out there on the court. As far as women's college. Now in high school, Missouri, we now have the shot clock, but it's only going to be for like certain tournaments and showcases. It ain't going to be for every high school.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So certain tournaments and certain showcases going to have a shot clock. So now, so going to that game, I know me and my partners are going to talk about it. Watch that shot clock. Got to be mindful of that. Women's college, it's already in there. We got to watch that. Media timeouts in college, so now so before I get on that court, I did a Zoom meeting with for college basketball. I did a Zoom meeting a few months ago. First thing he said was, read that book. Read 5 pages a day. That's what I do. Because also what I have to do, I have to be verbatim with the coach out that rule book. Have to be verbatim. Me hooping, I can't be saying, man, your play out there hacking. Can't say that, Coach, that's a hand check, So before I go out to these games, Little League and everything, I have to be mindful of what I'm getting myself into, what I'm preparing myself for, and how to call the game.
So you said being verbatim with the coaches. Is that something that big game officials or the like ref organizations tell you to do, or is that like a standard that you set for yourself?
Before high school and college, it was big game officials
that told you it's important to be verbatim.
Read that book. Read the book. Watch YouTube videos. Read. And before, like I said, big game officials. Before all this, big game.
Yeah. Dude, again, man, like just the amount of detail at big game officials with Sarah, like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's just something, it's different, bro. It's special. It's unique. Like, no, I feel like, to an extent, I live in my little bubble, so I don't know the whole, what's going on in the other 49 states. But I feel like this is rare that kids are able to get this level of education.
She's doing an amazing job with the community, with big game official juniors, the youth. It's only they can only go up. You can only go up because the more games you do, you're gonna get more confidence. When you get that confidence, it's over. You're gonna see, you're gonna enjoy it more. You're gonna learn more, and it's gonna help you also outside of basketball. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help you to prepare more, to just being able to communicate better. Everything, and what she's doing is just serving the game she loves, and I love basketball. I think any referee will tell you one of the reasons they do it is because they still love the game.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, or that is how I feel about training. Is part of the reason I love it is I'm still around the game.
Indeed.
I still like scratch the itch. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's similar.
What's up?
I had a question and it slipped my mind. Damn. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So let's pivot a little bit. What would you say? So you've refed in a lot of different gyms, mm-hmm. a lot of different environments. Mm-hmm. Are there specific gyms or maybe specific qualities of gyms, environments mm-hmm. that make one more difficult than the others?
Yeah. And I'm glad I went through it. Woes.
Yeah.
Woes. The City Rec League, we talking, like I said, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th graders. If it's a 4th grade game, maybe a packed gym. It's, packed or it's always packed. We just say that it's always big, but you hear everything. That's what broke me in. Can I handle that pressure? Close game, 6th grade game, close game. Got to make the right call. Can you really handle that? These parents yelling at you, these coaches. Can I handle that? And every time, and that's where I really got the thick skin to handle the pressure of officiating. So that gym, you hear everything. These parents, they care. The coaches care. The players care. They want to win. My job is to make sure every player is safe and to officiate the game like I told you, every game like it's a championship game. So woes that's it. That's where you get the, can you get through that? Yeah, you can pretty much get through anything.
I had a dad of one of the kids I train. His son was playing at Wolves. I guess it was like a championship. Mm-hmm. But he posted a video on his story. It was like a panorama video, mm-hmm. soaking the vibes in of the game at Wolves. And dude, like half the city had to have been there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I feel like in those type of environments, those high leverage games, it's loud. The parents, the fans, they're all like heavily invested in the game. Mm-hmm. It almost reaches a point where no matter what call you make, someone's going to be mm-hmm. upset.
Yes, indeed.
And now that I think about it, maybe that makes it easier for you.
As far as, say it again.
Like, no matter what call you make,
right,
someone's going to be mad at you.
Of course.
So then it becomes less of, shit, I hope I make the right call so people don't get mad at me. Mm-hmm. It's more freeing. You like, they're going to get mad regardless. I might as well ref a good game.
You got to be locked in. That's it. So I'm at Woes and I'm on the side where the fans is. It don't matter. It don't even matter if I'm on the fans or the coaches. I'm hearing it either way. You can't hide.
Yeah.
So you have to be locked in. Watch your primary. Watch the defense. Like I told you, 70% defense, 30% offense. Just do the best you can, but block that out. Because the only people you care about is the coach and the players. Because you got to communicate with the coaches. So yes, I make a call. The whole gym don't like it. Got to move on. So stand on my call. It is what it is. Let's go.
What type of? So let's go with players first. So what type of things you make a call, players aren't a fan of it. Mm-hmm. What have you had players say to you that make it like easy to engage with? Mm-hmm. And what are some examples of things players have said that you just like don't like, that's disrespectful, or like that's not the way to communicate with me?
Well, I don't like being cussed at. Especially, I don't like being cussed at. That's from a player to a coach. I don't waste no time. I'm going to hit you. I don't waste no time. So I don't like cussing. But if you come at me, you like I say, everybody competitive. I make a call you may not like. You can talk. All referees should be open to communicate players. And that's what, in the beginning, I didn't know how. But as I repetition, ref, what I do? And then I explain it verbatim in a calm, welcoming voice. You right. Okay, ref. All right. That's where I've improved that with the players. The coaches, I just need more reps. High level, high school. That's why I'm gonna get better at that. But like players, you just got to be open. And when they ask, what did I do? What did I do? I got you with the body. Right on. Okay. So you just got to be verbatim, and you got to watch film. Just watch basketball, and just far as communicate with them, just explain it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you just mentioned watching film, and then earlier you were talking about, when we were talking about like the zones, you said your daughter was filming, and then like you looked back on it. So you watch film of yourself?
Yes.
And what are you looking for? Is it like the same stuff that you're being trained on, or like what are you looking at?
When I first started recording myself, I watched me. Like, is my hand high enough? I used to be like this because I was scared. I'm scared. Now it's strong. You got to be strong. You got to, because, just being strong, I was watching that. But now I'm to the point where I'm watching the players. I'm watching the defense. I'm watching these players. I'm watching common fouls. I'm watching for, like, I'll give you an example. I messed up at Lewis and Clark one time. I missed an intentional call. I will never forget it because I froze because I never seen it before. And I was like, and my partner, he like this. He was literally like, and I messed up. So, Center of St. Louis, this kid got the ball, and the defensive player, he didn't go for the ball at all. He grabbed his waist and pulled them. Intentional. And that's why, and so when I watch film, I'm watching that. The things I may have missed that players have come to me and say, hey, that's a moving screens. So when I look back on film, I look at it. Damn, where's a moving screen? I got to watch that. Or if it was it in my primary? I can't call it because now that's another thing. Not calling calls out your primary when a player come up to you. That was a foul over there. I got to get better with that as far as not saying that was my partner's primary. What I say now is, we'll watch it. We'll watch out for it next time. I'll talk to my partner about that. Communication. So get back to your question. Like, far as film, I started watching myself, my mechanics, making sure they were strong. Now I watch the game. I'm watching myself, but the game, just moving screens, traveling, the step back. We ain't gonna talk that damn Euro, boy. That Euro tough, especially a fast-paced game. But when you see it on film, you're like, okay, I got it now.
To decide what's a travel and what's not?
Yeah. So what I used to not mess up, but I used to miss a player catch the ball, but he hasn't established his pivot foot, and he just go. That's a travel. You got to establish that pivot foot. Which one your pivot is, your left or your right? When I catch the ball, my left is my pivot foot. But if you catch the ball still and you moved your pivot foot, and you even put the ball in. Not putting the ball down before you move that pivot foot. You got to watch that. Because if I don't put that ball down, I move that foot first, take a step with that pivot foot, that's a travel.
In the U.S., that is?
From what I've seen, it's this on YouTube, it's this one guy, I'm going to send it to you. He breaks it down. And the one player, he caught the ball. He ball faked. Before he put his foot down, he dribbled that ball. That's legal. If he would have put his foot down and went and picked that left foot up and then dribbled, that's a travel. Got to put that ball there. So that's more details that I watch on film that I've been getting better at because I've been in games where the coach, I'm right behind the coach, and he like, that's a travel. And I'm looking like, shit, I got to watch that, you know?
Yeah.
So I know I'm giving you a whole lot of information. It's just things that referees, we look at everything. We have to, it just helps us become better referees.
Yeah. That's the call that, to go back to like the overseas topic, that's a bit like, that is for sure a rule in Europe and stuff is I'm triple threat. I'm jabbing. I jab right and go left. Or not even that. A better example is like I'm jabbing with my right foot and then I sweep to go drive to my right and I pick that pivot foot up before the ball hits the ground. That's a travel 10 times out of 10. Here in the NBA, they absolutely don't call it. I know. But I feel like that's not really a point of emphasis from what I've heard in the US, which again, just kind of adds to the confusion. But then, so you brought up, so I catch it, I don't establish a pivot foot, and then I drive, and that's a travel. So if I'm standing on the 3-point line, maybe I'm like running in transition, and then my teammate passes it to me, and then I catch, I jump stop as I catch it. So I catch it, my feet hit the ground at the same time. And then from there, I drive left or right, really doesn't matter.
And so right there, put the ball down first. Be quick with it. Get the ball down first before you make it step. And I'm gonna send you that. Because that's a tough one. From what I've seen on film, the ball go down first, especially if you ain't established a pivot foot yet. You see what I mean? If the ball go down first and then you move your foot, hey, it's legal. But if you make a move and if you ain't established your pivot foot and you make a move before that ball come down, that's a travel.
So you're saying that I catch on the jump stop, the ball should hit the floor before either one of my feet leave the ground?
Yes. If that makes sense. So you saying I catch the ball in the jump stop. And I know there's just jump stop.
Yep.
And you make a move. If I make a move, so if I move right, now my left foot is pretty much my pivot foot. So I feel like, now that's tough. If you make a move, how can I explain? So if you make a move right, so now my left is my pivot foot, the ball has to go down. If I move to my left, it depends. You just that pivot foot. I'm gonna send it to you, bro.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
Because I feel like if you call that, 101 people out of 100 are gonna get mad at you.
Absolutely.
Like they're not. I've really have never seen that called, because then even so you catch on the jump stop, and then let's say I'm driving left, so catch on the jump stop. I'm going to step with my right foot first to drive left. And then my right foot leaves the ground before the ball hits the ground. And then you try to call a travel. I could argue that my left foot is my pivot foot.
Right. Press play. Play on that.
So we got...
And that's Ref Masters.
Ref Masters is the app?
Yep.
What is this?
It is an app for referees to watch, just learn everything about officiating, watching film on plays. Just anything.
Interesting. Okay. So I'm pressing play here. Again, once I get like an editor, we're going to...
Turn it down. There you go.
There we go. Okay, so he's about to shoot it, and then the video pauses. Oh, because that's the end of it. Okay, so let's run it back. Top of the key, pass to the right wing, dribble down to the corner, pass back to the top, swing it to the left wing.
Look at his feet.
On that, okay. Okay, so we catch it on the left wing.
Mm-hmm.
When he catches it, his left foot is stationary.
Mm-hmm.
And then he brings his right foot closer to his left foot. Shot fake. Left foot moves a little bit. Jabs with that right. Lifts the right foot up. Probably before the ball hits the ground.
That's so.
And then drives.
That's little things that, you know, that we watch, that I watch more now. So when I was trying to explain it, like I said, that's tough because we watching the defense and the offense, something like that happened on the wing, watching his feet. Did he establish that pivot foot? On that one, he didn't put the ball down first. He moved his feet before he put the ball down, and the ref caught it. And when you explained to me as far as a jump stop, man, it's just some film I have to watch. That's the things that I watch at home to be ready for the following game.
So let's say you're reffing that game, or I mean, it doesn't have to be that game, but let's say you're on that sideline, I guess.
Yes.
They're swinging the ball around. And then the guy that catches the ball, maybe, they're running a play, so he's triple threat, whatever, or maybe he's on a live dribble trying to find that next pass to run the play, or he catches it, he's assessing what it is, off a live dribble or a triple threat, just kind of like deciding what to do. Do I shoot it? Do I drive it? Do I pass it? Are you watching the feet of the offense? Are you watching, you mentioned the hands of the defense. What are you watching?
If the offensive player is dribbling, I'm watching the defense, but I'm also, like I said, 70% defense, and 70% defense, 30% offense. When I mean by 30% offense, I'm watching the defense, but I'm using my peripheral and just glancing over at the offense with the ball. Just in case he carries or he pick it up, now I'm watching his feet. Then I'm counting because that's a new rule. It ain't so. What I found out, 5-second rule while dribbling is no more. Now it's when they pick that ball up, 5 seconds.
How recent is that?
I found that out over the summer.
No 5-second call when he has a live dribble.
He has a live dribble.
Interesting.
They pick that ball up, and the player is 6 feet, and distance wise, start counting. But as far as dribbling, so I'm gonna send you the legit, because like I told you, they bring it in the shot clock now. So definitely with the shot clock, there's definitely no more 5-second count when you dribble.
Okay.
But over the summer, because I made a call when a player was dribbling and the defender was within 6 feet, I'm counting. And I called it, and it pulled me to the side. That's no more 5-second call when he dribbling. Just when they pick it up and the player's in, 6 feet. But I'll give you the details.
Interesting. That's extremely interesting, because I can recall plays last high school season. I can recall plays last high school season where they called 5 off a live dribble.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. Wow. Okay. So I can pivot 1, 2, 3, 4, dribble, pick it back up, 5 starts over.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That first one you put dribble down, it's over. It's over. Then you pick it back up and he within 6 feet, and then I start to count again.
You also have 5 seconds to inbound it. If I go, so Coach Neff put me onto this.
Okay.
Shout out to Coach Neff to bring him back. I'm inbounding the ball. And then there's 4 other teammates inbounds that I'm trying to pass to. One of those 4 players can come out of bounds with me.
Yes.
I can pass it to him and then step in.
Yeah.
Okay. He actually ran that. When I was at Webster, we played Staley.
Okay.
Where he still coaches at, I believe. We actually went up to, you remember the movie Hoosiers? We played in that gym.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. But anyway, so I'm inbounding it. So that's legal, kind of like a trick play type of thing.
Definitely.
Catch people off guard. So let's say I'm inbounding it. Ref hands me the ball. Count starts. 1, 2, 3. At 4, I pass it to another teammate out of bounds. Does he get a fresh 5?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
That's kind of a niche play.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would never tell. I would look if I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? That, and I will. Like I said, that just come with part of reading. I will get the facts because that may happen in the game.
That's right.
It may happen.
Has the carry just completely like gone out the window? We're not calling that anymore. Is that where we're at now?
Man, we will. Oh God, boy, we would have a lot of mad people, boy. That it got to be a real carry, like a real blatant. You know, one of these. You know, but I watch for. You know, the player got the. You know, he dribbling and his hands on the side of the ball. You know, that's cool. You know, but I'm talking like a. I got in the gym. You know, gym coach. Oh. I got to call that, you know, but it's a lot of carrying out there.
A lot of carrying.
A lot of carrying.
I'm a fan of it. Like as a trainer, because then we can like really get in our bag.
Just be quick with it.
Yeah.
I had one girl, man, this summer. She can hoop. She can hoop. This point guard, this girl can hoop. It was at Principia. And she, you know, me and my partner, she legit dribbling with the ball, but she doing this. Oh man, we let it slide twice. Not slide, but like, is she gonna correct this? So I called it. We would have thought I killed cornbread. She going crazy, and she keep doing it. And my partner called it. It's so obvious. Like you legit, and you slow with it. You legit picking the ball up and throwing it down. You know, that was a big fuss. But as far as how just, you know, how you train everything, I say just be, you know, teach, you know, you already know what to do. You know, be quick with it. Be quick. And just don't make it blatant, you know.
Yeah. Because that's a cheat code. And one of the main ways players are able to change speeds, like dribbling slow, your ability to cuff the ball. So like move your hand, kind of like an in and out. You're going here.
Yeah.
Being able to manipulate the ball in your hand gives you time to kind of cover ground and slow down.
Yeah.
So that's why I say as a trainer, like, I'm going to abuse that.
You got to.
Because I really don't, can't remember the last time I've seen a carry call get called.
It's 2 players that has an in and out. 3 that they do it so quick, but they don't carry. But it may look like, but they so fast. Derrick Rose, his in and out was sick. Jay Williams from Duke back in the day, he had an in and out crossover that was sick. But it was so, you may look, if you slow it down, like he carrying, but he's so quick. And it look, you know, can't call it. And Nick Van Exel back in the day. But, you know, you got to throw in, you know, the size of hands and everything with the ball, but they just quick with it. They ain't carrying, they just, And then Derrick Rose, he'll throw his whole body acting like he finna go that way.
Yeah.
Flip it back. So that carry call, if it ain't like, you know, if it's one of these, you gotta call that. You'll go crazy at me if I don't call that. You see me just the player come down and I do like this. Oh man, look what you doing.
You see it on a shot hezzy a lot too.
Be quick with
the ball is just complete, or the hand is just completely underneath the ball.
Yes, and that was my thing back in the day.
But shot hezzy.
What I learned was, I'm dribbling, but I practice keeping the ball on top of, keeping my hand on top of the ball all I gotta do is bring this right hand up, but then getting low. I feel like basketball players, if they low in attack mode, they can get away. Not get away, but they less prone to make mistakes with the basketball. Be in attack mode, and like I said, I used to always just keep my eye on top of the ball when I knew I was finna do the hezzy, because I don't want to get caught for the carry, because that's my move. Just bring that right hand up. I got you. You know, so that carry call, you're right. That's a call, especially in the NBA.
Oh, and yeah, NBA is ridiculous. I wasn't even thinking about that, because that's just so like out in left field. They let a whole bunch of shit slide.
Yeah.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
How has reffing changed the way you look at your playing career in any way?
Yeah. Yeah. How I look at my playing career. It's I wish I was more, if I would have, the way I prepare for these refereeing games, I wish I would have done that basketball wise. Just being, especially when it came to eating and getting rest, you know, just because I thought I was young. I had a daughter, a young age, and I was working as well, you know. So the things I'm learning now, just preparation, getting your rest, eating healthy, staying consistent with working on your game, you know. And then when I'm out there watching, you know, like I said, it's just now it's more of like just the love of the game and serving the game, so the players could have a safe space to showcase their skills. So,
mention getting rest, meaning sleep.
Yes.
And so like optimizing sleep. Mm-hmm. What does that look like for you? Just like getting enough hours in bed?
Before I go to bed, and also refereeing is definitely it's a lot more mental than you think. Because imagine what a referee go through dealing with players, fans, and coaches screaming at you. You know, you hear a lot of verbal things. You hear a lot of things, the good and the bad. You know, and we pretty much hear more bad than good, and
if any good. But I think about it.
Right. So it can become mentally draining. I was at the point where I was doing.
I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah. I was at the point where I was doing a lot of games, and you think about, dog, like this person was talking to me crazy. And he was like, you go through, dang, did I miss that call? Damn. You know, and you think about it, but you have to move on. You definitely got to what I do, I make time for me to just relax. I don't, when I get done with my game, especially after a busy week, I need a day or two. I need a day or two just not to do nothing. I don't want to watch no basketball. I want to relax, because you need that recharge. If there's some guys that do games every day, all day. I'm different. You need a break. You got to get a break to reset. I went from getting 4 hours of sleep, now I'm getting 8 hours of sleep. And when I did that, I go to games with confidence. I got my rest. You know, that plays a major part, because in my mind, I don't want to go to a game where I'm not prepared. If that makes sense mentally, because it's definitely very mentally. It can become mentally draining. You have to get your mental together.
Yeah, I've never put that together. Because like I've always known, like refs are humans too. Mm-hmm. And I've always known that they hear it a lot from the fans and coaches and players. And that you brought it up, I don't like you said the good and the bad. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much good there even is, like how many compliments you receive during a game, like probably very few.
Yeah.
And so I've never put that together, that can really be draining.
It's tough. It's tough.
Mentally, and then does it like especially in the early stages, I would imagine, even seasoned refs, it would have to fluctuate the confidence a little bit.
Yeah. In the beginning, it's definitely tough. When I was, when Sarah gave me that second chance and I got out there, and, Woles, Matthew Dickey, Tandy, and all that, and these high intensity games, we talking about Little League. It can get rowdy, and you are the one that they picking on. And then you get home, you get in the car, you're like, whew, I gotta come back tomorrow, and deal with the same thing. And you be like, dog, this, you don't, as a human being, nobody likes to be disrespected. Nobody wants to feel like they weak and low, because we providing a service. And we have to be mentally, physically ready to do our job. But what I've learned to keep me going, Sarah Woods, Lamarr, give yourself some grace. I took that and ran with it. It's this podcast called Inside the Genesis. His name is Brian Garland, and it's another guy named Gio. I listen to that every day. He's a referee as well. Both of them referees, and he talked about the psychology of it, man. And I took that and ran with it because they explain things that I go through, and I took 1% better every game because you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes, but you got to move on and not make, like I told you, I made the same mistake twice. So as far as the mental, you have to take care of your mental. If I didn't take care of my mental, I wouldn't be here. I'm more looking forward to the next game, preparing for the season. Am I gonna have some game? I'm past that mentality of the negative. Like I can't do this. It's too much. No. For one, like I told you, I love it. I love basketball. For two, I'm learning. It just takes time. So you have to have your mental strong. Got to get it together. You got to have some rest. So,
do refs have favorites?
Favorite what?
Teams, players?
Yeah, they have favorite games they want to do. Like I got some partners that's finna do. They finna do some games for Vashon. The top teams in the state. I can't wait to do one of those big games because it's fun.
Yeah.
You there, you doing a game, you doing a big time game. Like when I was at Woles, I was this guy who do the championship game for 6th grade. Oh, these the two best teams. All right, you locked in. All right, it's fun. That's what you want. You want that. You want to be that ref that be like, oh shit, championship game. Let's go, because it's all it's gonna do is it's a learning experience. That's
what Jerron was saying. Is he wants the prime time, CBC versus Chaminade. He wants the big time stage. When like fans or coaches feel like a ref is like playing favorites. Oh, they have the foul count is 7-2. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Have you seen refs kind of like favor a team?
No.
Or if it's a foul count 7-2, it's because that team has fouled 7 times and that team has fouled 2 times.
I can honestly say I've never, especially from working with my partners, it's never been a game where I felt like or seen my partners showing favoritism to a particular team. I've always, and then if a coach come to me saying that they getting fouled more than anything, I've been in a situation where I look at the book, it's 6-6, you know what I'm saying, or maybe 6-7, or maybe 2, but it's never been a landslide like that, And if it is 7-2, like a game I did a few weekends ago, it's obvious fouls, like an obvious one, That's when I feel like the games I've been in where I seen, I'm like, well, they fouling, It is what it is. And then down there, they not fouling, So, but as far as favoritism, I've never been in a game where like I had to think like, you showing some favoritism? No, never. No.
The big time players kind of get a little more leeway, don't they?
You want to, not leeway. No leeway. But you have to recognize who the star players are. Because, you got a packed gym, the number one player in the country. You want to see him play, right?
Yeah.
But that's when it goes to the obvious. And then game management. That's when it goes in there, like talking to your crew before the game. All right, look, how we going to ref this game? Then film before the game.
Go ahead.
Okay. How we finna do this? We already know number one player, he's a shooter. We got to watch defenders coming up under him when he shoot the ball. We got to watch that. Okay, this number one player, he likes to go to the basket. He's going to draw a foul. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the defensive team. Do they play defense aggressive? Do they press? Do they double team? All that. Okay,
bet. Okay, so this was when 20 minutes ago when I forgot my question.
Okay.
This was the question. It's because we were talking about watching film of you, the hand signals, the positioning on the floor, the zones and stuff like that. And then, but you also watch film, because me and Jerron were talking about this, and it's what you just said. You're also watching film in some cases of the teams that you're about to play.
Right.
For team tendencies, what type of offense they run. So maybe you just know what to look for.
Right.
They set this cross screen and, he likes to get a forearm, whatever it is. Player tendencies, everything you just said.
Correct.
Is that probably not every game. I mean, they don't have film for fifth graders, but high school games, college games, every game at those levels?
So the games, I got something for you. Fifth grade games. Let's say I have no film. Being a referee since I started January, I probably have, ref that fifth grade team 8 times. I know they play 2-3 zone. I know they're gonna do 1-4 high on offense. I know that number 4 is the best player. I know that the center, he plays football in Matthew Dickey, and he is aggressive.
Yeah.
I know, because I watched them so many times. And then social media, you see these kids who play football, basketball, you see them. Send to St. Louis, when they have games at Thread Hoops, you see these players on social media. So, but reffing their games, just, repetition of doing games, I know what y'all do. Now, when it came to film with high school and college, when I was watching those games, now, since I'm finna start high school and college, the games, I'm going to see them again. All I was doing when I watched film on those players, what did the coach say to me that I may have missed? Or me personally, where can I get better at, if that makes sense? Or if I didn't call something, if it was good, I'm pretty much correcting my mistakes, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's not my primary. Why did my partner make that call? What did she see? Okay, then communication with the coaches. That's another thing I'm learning. That coach is irate. What did you say to him to calm him down? What is your breaking point with that coach to where you say, hit him with a T? So
I had I'm not gonna, I'll just say I was talking to someone and they said something. It's always stuck with me. He said he got a T one time. He was a head coach. He said, he said, can you tee me up for what I'm thinking? And the ref said no. He said, all right, well, I think that call was fucking bullshit. Boom, T, 2 free throws. Yeah. That's always stuck with me. I think that was funny.
Yeah. But you know what? We got coaches that will do whatever they can to get a technical foul to motivate their players. The game is something else.
And when they're doing that, how do you know that?
They say something out of line. They really want that tech.
Okay.
Like what you said, that's a, and You know, then you could tell because they players come out more aggressive. You know, they want that so they players can wake up. Wake up. The coaches, he telling like, I'm giving all I can. You know, you got to work harder. They need that. You know, get live. You know, so yeah.
And second baseball reference of the podcast, but in baseball you'll see that because like when the manager will leave the dugout with all his players and then go to the umpire, so they can't really hear, the players can't hear the manager,
right?
And so the manager will like blatantly tell the umpire to like throw him out for that reason, like send the message, get my players hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, in basketball you can't really do that. Can't really do that.
You can't, but you've been around basketball a lot. You've seen coaches go crazy. Want to get thrown out so they players can wake up, send a message, you know, and then you'll see the team come out and wake up and start killing, you know. So yeah, it's I'm waiting on that.
And that probably so this will be, so over the summer you were reffing at Lewis and Clark.
Well, a few months ago, Fall League.
Fall League, my fault. And so was that your first experience with high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, real high school. Like before that, I was doing like middle school, 7th, 8th grade. I did a few men's league games, and I went. You know, I did a college game. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. So I pretty much did middle school.
Okay. So this will be your first season doing high school.
Yes.
Will you be doing it in St. Louis?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, indeed.
I told Jerron, and I'll tell you the same thing. I'm going to pull up to games that you guys are reffing.
That'd be great.
And like watch you guys.
That'd be great.
Because I think that'd be really cool. And then, because one of the questions I was going to ask is like, you'll probably at a certain point, probably very early on, be able to tell like, okay, we're playing this team. I know the way that their coach communicates with me, and then like mentally prepare for that.
Absolutely, man. Mentally prepare for the coaches, the players, how I walk in the gym, to the people at the table. Who's running this clock? Who keeping up with the team files? You know, everything. It's really a whole just preparation of everything because we out there, we are managing the game. We have to be on point with everything. And I've learned that from Little League, first graders. You know, you just want to serve the game so the players can showcase their skills.
Are there certain, so we're talking about like watching film on teams, on players, or just like it's your 8th time reffing them, you kind of pick up on stuff. What, you mentioned it a tiny bit, but go into like more detail. As a trainer, I appreciate this, of like what player tendencies do you pay attention to? Like he likes to drive left. He likes to foul bait a little bit. He likes to create contact. What type of stuff are you looking at?
It depends on the player. And you will catch early on in the game, like I said, who's the star player. But if a player, you'll pay attention. All it takes about 2 or 3 times to understand which players, what they like to do. You just got, you know, that's even before film. This is your first time. This is my first time reffing this game with these players. Give me about 2 or 3. They get the ball 2 or 3 times. I know what they like to do. You can just tell because when you're in the game, you'll see it. Okay, this player don't have a left hand, but he's strong with his right. Oh, this player, he can shoot. You know, so just being in the game and just after 2 or 3 times, you're like, okay, I know what they like to do. And you just go from there.
Fire. So you walked in the door and you said, I like that jacket.
Right.
And I said, what do you know about it? So you graduated from Webster in 2005.
Yes.
Which I did not know until an hour 40 ago, which is awesome.
Yes.
Because I graduated in 2019. So you went to Hazelwood East?
Yes.
For your first 3 years?
Correct.
So senior year is usually like the victory lap, big man on campus, you know how things go, super comfy. But your senior year was at a completely new school.
Right.
What would you say were the biggest differences on the court, off the court between Hazelwood and Webster?
Hazelwood East, it was at that time was a football powerhouse. It was a football powerhouse. We really wasn't big in basketball, but we was decent. We was decent. And when I went to Webster, shoot, it was both. You know, because before I got there, I can't think of his name. He was a quarterback. But anyway, that was both. And sports, it was, you know, it was just, but basketball, because Coach Blossom has, he you know, improved that program. And I had some guys I, you know, play ball with, Eric Jones, shout out to Eric Jones, Jay Robinson. And it was time, you know, and we was rolling. And Drew Halen, he was at the gym 6 a.m. before class getting 1,000 shots, you know. So it was just, I tell you what, practice was intense, man. It was intense. Blossom, you know, we went at it. We went at it. He would notice. Start practice is 1-on-1 full court. You know, if I don't score, I run. You know, if the defender stopped me, it was competitive. If you lose, you run. You don't want to lose because you're running. You know, so that's where the intensity, that competitive came in. So that, if anything about Webster, it was a competitiveness, like winning. Let's win.
Yes. So, yeah. Okay. This is fire, bro. I've had a handful of other Webster alumni on here. Mm-hmm. I think you're only the second that has gone through a Blossom practice. It's like no other, man. I'll tell you.
It's rough.
It'll turn you into a man. It turned me into a man. Grew some hair on my chest.
Yeah.
1-on-1, full court, off rip.
Yeah.
School gets done. And when I was there, school got done at 2:35. Mm-hmm. If we were not on the court, shoes tied, ready to go by 2:50, we got issues.
Indeed.
We got issues.
Indeed.
And it was not a practice. Like, dude, it's just so special to me, bro. Webster, like, because it wasn't, practices were not like, okay, we're going to get shots up, run through our plays, 5-on-0, and then scrimmage at the end. Nope. We're getting after it. Mm-hmm. When you were there, was it no fouls, no out of bounds?
Which, meaning he didn't worry about the fouls?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that made our bench better, because, you know, if I get in foul trouble, you know, my sub come in, you know, we didn't worry about fouls because we had enough to do what we had to do to win. And oh man, you giving me chills, man, because we used to get at it at practice, man. It was never, it been fights, you know, because it's just aggressive. Mm-hmm. It's aggressive, man. We out there, we don't want to lose. You don't, if full court basketball, I got the ball, if he score, you run. If you don't score, you know, like, hey, I'm going at you. And Drew, I always tell people this, man. I always tell them, man, because me and Jay Robinson was the guards, and Justin Taylor. Shout out to JT. We went at Drew, and Drew was a freshman. Like, we went at him, but Drew said something that scared me, and it turned. You know, that's when I knew he gonna be the player of the year one year before he graduated. I'm, you know, crossing him over and everything. He said, "I want some more." Oh yeah, okay. You know, he wanted to get better. And that's how intense it was. And, you know, when Blossom was there, and, you know, man, you bringing me back, man. That was good basketball.
So you said, so like one-on-one full court, if you get scored on, you're running. Like baseline to baseline running?
Yeah, he had this, so he had white versus black. You know, so if I'm on white, you know, and we win, black is running, but it was more like a down and back at a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how we did it. And if you don't make that time, guess what?
We're doing it again.
If you don't, and then if you don't make it a second time, what's gonna happen next? Your team on black gonna be like, hey man, you know, make the time. Gotta make it. So that's how it was at Webster.
So that's interesting because we never
Excuse me.
like we never, well, not never, but it was very rare that it was like, stop practice, get on the line, we're running. It was, I mean, you know, definitely we would get yelled at.
If my mind serves me right, if you know, we still gotta get through practice. He will remember. You know what I'm saying? You got to make that time up.
Yeah. You think I forgot?
Right. After practice, get it done.
Yeah.
Or he gonna get you on the next practice. You know, he keeping receipts.
Yeah. Yeah. We would definitely run. Like there would be times where we just needed to run.
Yes.
And so we would run. But mostly it would just be quick transitions from drill to drill. Practices are 2.5 hours. You get water when you need to get water.
Yes.
But if you're still getting water when it's your team's turn,
You gotta get out.
you fucked up.
Did y'all have that one drill where you had to basically like the not drill? You on offense and I'm trying to
In the gap?
Yep.
Like one-on-one?
Yep.
We've done versions of it.
See that? Oh man, you taking me back, man. Like, you know, we played man to man full court, but we had the point where like if I'm guarding you on the top of the key, my teammates on defense, they denying the ball, you know. And if you drive to your right, he has to look at his peripheral and get to the spot where he meets you at the spot to stop. So like I said, I remember all that, man. We'll talk about that another time, but like it was very intense. It was something else. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, we would do, so yeah, not a lot of running unless we needed to. It was more so like quick transitions between drills.
Right.
2.5 hours, pretty much nonstop. If it's taking longer than 60 seconds to get into a drill, he's on us.
Yes.
And then I think it started my sophomore year, and they still do it now where like if someone gets scored on or isn't in the gap or doesn't box, whatever it is, they have this lovely rack of medicine balls. And so you grab it over your head, take a lap,
Wow.
bang, get back into the drill.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But like we said, bro, it's just special, bro. It has a special place
Absolutely.
in my heart.
Absolutely, man. It was a great time. It was a great time. We played some high level basketball and best time of my life. That was fun.
Do you have any Blossom stories? Because that was like a younger Blossom.
Yes. Blossom stories, man. He I don't know. I've always, he've always had my back, especially off the court. He came to my mother's funeral. He's definitely more than a coach. He was definitely a supporter. He definitely gave me great advice. That's my guy. That's my dog. Like, yeah.
And that's what makes it so special is like the ability to create buy-in from the players.
Right.
Is in some situations really difficult to do.
Yes.
Because, you could have a coach say, all right, we're doing 1v1 full court, shell to transition, 2v2 skipper closeouts. I don't know if y'all did that one. But okay, we're doing these drills. Okay, guys, we're going to practice really hard, TTW, like we're getting up full court.
Tough team wins.
Yeah, like we're going to get after it. Okay, cool. But there's this other level of getting your players to compete hard enough for fights to break out, you know, as non-ideal as that is or whatever. But like to create that buy-in from players, it makes it special, bro. Showing up to funerals, like being there for people off the court, meetings with me about like, you know, just life and like grade checks and stuff like that. Like, you know that he's rocking with you.
Yeah. Yeah. He helped me out a lot, man. That's my guy, you know, and it practice, like I say, you know, I can't speak on, well, I can, you know, I see a lot of not coaches, but just how practice goes, where it's, you know, not it's lollygagging, but just getting, like you said, getting the most out of your players. If you tell them, hey, if you don't stop him, you're gonna run. That's gonna make you play harder. You know, either you're gonna do it or not. Because he told people, you know, he told his practice, if you can't get it done, get out of here.
Yes.
Keep it simple. He was, hey, look, we ain't got time. He had that little paper. We ain't got time. In the weight room, he'd be like, if it takes longer than an hour to work, to lift, get these weights, get your workout done, you wasting your time. Workout should not last no more than 45 minutes in the weight room. That was his thing. So he has, he's a great guy. You know,
there was, so 4 years, 80, 90 something practices a season times 4, whatever that adds up to. Every single one of them in my head, 7th hour, right before practice. Fuck, dude, I do not want to go, bro. God, I just want to like go home, chill on the couch, like anything but Timberwolf, Sheldon, like all these. Oh my God. But then, so every single day, I did not want to do it.
Yeah.
And then I did it. And then senior year, last game of the season, we lost to McClure North. I get checked out from the game, and it just hits me.
Yeah.
Damn, like I'm never going to put this jersey on again.
Yeah, man.
And I start crying, bro, for the first time in like a handful of years. First time in a minute, I started crying. And I was like, damn, bro, like, and it wasn't like, okay, we lost, like whatever. I'm not even tripping off of that. It was like, damn, bro, I want to go practice.
Right.
Because it's like you're going to war with your brothers is the way it felt.
I get it, man, because that season was a special season. Like even we played a kind of it was national. We didn't win no games out of town. You know, we lost to, what was that stuff? Anyway, we was 24-5, but we was undefeated in St. Louis, and the only game we lost in Missouri was to Poplar Bluff. And, you know, it was heartbreaking. And when we went to the locker room, Coach Neff said something that hit me and us. You know, he hit me. He was like, you know, and the tears started flowing as he said. He was like, man, Lamarr, I just wish I can have you for 2 more years. You know, and I felt that because it's like, damn, like this is it. I only played 1 season there, and I loved it. And it's just, practice. You know, practice. You get it tough. It made you a better player.
Did you guys run Radro?
I don't remember. I can't remember.
So apparently it was named after Rashawn Simmons, who was class of...
He was after me.
Yeah. So on the half court line, about like maybe a foot in from the sideline, there's usually like those like volleyball pole things.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 cones right there.
Right.
1 cone on each, and then 1 cone on each baseline.
Okay.
So it makes a diamond.
Right.
And you have to go around 10 times in 2 minutes. And it was terrible. It was awful. What was Coach Neff like? Because I never had him, and he's a legend.
What?
Like he, Staley High School, handful of state championships, and then he's with Mocan.
Okay. That's what's up.
He's won Peach Jam. Like he's certified.
Okay. Hey, the man know what he doing. He used to after practice he'll be like, all right, come on, Lamarr. And he had you know that big old basketball. It's like it's not a regular basketball. It's a real big basketball.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, just practice your handles, Lamarr. So I got better. They gave me the green light. So every time I got the ball top of the key, I can go. Because when I got past you, I can drop it off to my, you know, I can drop it off. So they gave me that green light, but he helped me with my skills as far as my ball handling. And I took it and ran with it. He used to help me with that. Hey, go. You know, can't nobody get in front of you, get to the baseline, spin move, easy layup with your left. So it was a culture shock to me. As far as from Blossom motivating me to, like, you know, be more competitive and win, to Blossom to, not Blossom to Neff, improve your skills, you know, because he can hoop too.
Neff?
Yeah. Neff. When I first came to Webster, we had a little pickup game. Me and Neff was going at it. Coach Neff can hoop.
I didn't know that.
He can hoop.
So he had you dribbling, because I've seen those in the like ball closet thing. Yeah. It's a basketball, but just bigger.
Just bigger. Yeah.
And he had you do ball handling stuff with
Full
that.
court dribbling, you know, between the legs, just work the usual handles that you do, just dribbling with that, and they helped me grip the basketball better. And one thing I did like what Blossom and Neff did was we pretty much was 4 out, 1 in offensively. Mm-hmm. Everything we did drill wise and skill wise was within the offense.
Yeah.
So if I got the ball in the wing, the skills, the move that he taught me after practice, whatever, I was in position to do it in the offense. Because if I drove here and I drove the defense, I know where Jay going. I know where Adrian going. You know, so that was so cool. That was cool. That was, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Was Coach Neff hardcore yelling like Blossom?
No, not like Blossom. But he will yell at you.
Yeah.
But not like Blossom. Blossom, that's a
different breed.
I wasn't there when this happened, but he's thrown a chair at practice just to motivate his, you know, that's before I got there. But Blossom has went off on me, you know, but Neff.
Same.
Yep. But Neff wasn't, he'll get on you, but not like Blossom.
Yeah.
But Neff would be like, you know, come on, let's go. You know, so not like Blossom.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been around Neff coaching a handful of times, and he seemed similar to Blossom. Hardcore, kind of yelling, but it's all a journey because he was pretty young at that point, I think.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, we played a national schedule my junior year.
Okay.
And we were the same. We didn't lose in St. Louis.
Right.
But then we played, like, you know, James Wiseman?
Yes. Left hand center.
Yes. Who just tore his ACL, by the way. Kind of sucks. But we played him and a handful of other guys. It was like, yeah, bro, we can't beat him.
Adrian Claiborne was 6'3". That was our center.
Yeah.
And we played White Station. What's that tournament, man? It's a big time tournament. It used to be called SMS, but it's Missouri State University.
Okay.
We played this guy named J.P. Prince, Tayshaun Prince, younger brother.
Okay.
You know who Tayshaun Prince is. White Station, they shortest player 6'4". What can we do? You know, we lost by like a point or two, but like we fighting.
Yeah.
To get the ball. You know, we short. So when you play James Wiseman, it's like, 6'11". Do the best we can. Play tough, do the best we can.
Yeah, that's yeah. You get like a handful of dubs every season just by outworking people.
That's it. Cause Blossom almost beat Oak Hill. You know, when they played Oak Hill when Courtney Raymond was there.
Yeah, that was my year.
So y'all was getting there. I watched. I'm like, y'all can pull this off, but they tall.
They had 3 guys that are in the NBA right now. Like,
do the best you can.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that was the same tournament we played Darius Garland.
That point, Cleveland.
Yeah. Just shifty.
Quick.
He gave us 40.
It'd be like that.
The bag is different.
Yeah.
What Drew stories do you have? Because I mean, he's on podcasts talking about waking up at 4:59 every day. You mentioned it, like he's shooting on the gun before school, 1,000 makes. He's in practice, competing. He says he wants more.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember from his freshman year?
How bad he never. What you see now is what he was as a 15-year-old kid. He knew what he wanted, and he stuck with it. He took it and ran with it. What you see now is what he was doing at 15. He didn't shoot. He didn't practice before school at Webster. He used to go to the
Shrewsbury.
Yes. What's that spot? What's that place? That rec center called? Oh, is it? Oh man, you know what I'm talking about.
The one in Shrewsbury is just called the Shrewsbury City Center.
I think that's it. Wherever he wasn't at Webster. He used to go to one of them rec centers before class. He's shooting. He's practicing. He did it every day. And you can't, when he said that to me, like, you know, he want more. Like, he wants to really try to stop me. I knew he was going to be Missouri Player of the Year. I knew it. I told my partner, I said, bro, can't nobody guard him his junior, senior. Can't nobody guard him. And he can shoot. No, can't nobody guard him. Win that state championship. Go get it. It's yours. But he's always been locked in. When I heard stories about when he started training kids in high school, you know, I'm like, that's the best teacher. He already knew what he was supposed to do. He doing exactly what he already knew what he was going to do. He knew exactly what he's supposed to do. And he's great at it.
Great at it.
Yes.
One of the legends in the game, skills training wise. I feel like he's really bridged the gap between skills training and especially coaches for me, because I feel like at first skills training had this like kind of connotation or stigma of like, oh, skills trainers are just like, they give these kids these like 5 dribble combo moves that they're never going to use in the game and all this stuff. And then Drew came in and, all right, we're right foot forward, left foot back, ball and foot hit at the same time, keep the ball high, layup.
He breaks it down.
Yes. And he makes it's like, it's flashy enough to keep players engaged and understand why it works. Mm-hmm. But then it's basic and fundamental enough for the old head coach that's stuck in his ways,
right,
to see it and be like, because again, like you say, he breaks it down. He can understand, oh, I can see how this is applicable.
Right. He just, it's, you know, let's just, you know, keep it simple. He watches the game. He studies players to help them become better. And it may, like, what I mean by that, like, you may not have to take 5 dribbles to get to the basket. Why don't you put yourself in, I seen one video, he was like, you know, helped, I forgot which player, to get to a better position to score easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. You don't have to do 5 dribbles to get a bucket. Do this, do that, hey, score. Yeah. You know, so I seen him working with Maxey, and I'm just looking like, oh God, he finna be an MVP song. But Drew, his hustle. Now that's the thing. He don't mess around. He gets his, you know, he up. He don't waste no time. He get up and he go get it. He doing it.
He's doing his thing, man.
Yes, indeed.
Webster alumni. So I feel like coming up on the 2-hour mark, I feel like we've pretty much covered all our bases.
Yeah.
Broke down the reffing. Mm-hmm. Reminisced on some high school TTW. Mm-hmm. So the way we usually wrap it up is, so one, any last message that you want to leave the people with, words of wisdom, summarizing any like common themes throughout the episode. Mm-hmm. Pretty much the floor is yours. Any like last message that you just want to speak your mind on, leave the people with, if anything? And then 2, where people can find you if you want to plug yourself, IG, Twitter, whatever you do.
Okay. All I want to say is and you can transition this to life, because like I said, I took this and ran with it. Give yourself grace. Get better 1% each day. You don't have to be 100%. You don't have to be perfect. But so refereeing wise, if anybody wants to get into refereeing, I encourage people to check out www.biggameofficials.com to look through that website. Reach out to Sarah if you're interested. The journey is good. It's been a blessing to me. Man, it's so much I could say, but get chills, man, because the refereeing has definitely changed my life. I kind of have to be. I get kind of overwhelmed because how fast I moved up. Because I started in January, and one thing I also just did this recently. I don't want nothing fast. You know, I did move up fast, but I'm not eager to go to the NBA tomorrow. Division III, I want to go through the process, because if it's fast, it's gonna break. You know, I'd rather take the slow roll, go through the process, get better each day. I'll get there. You know, so if anybody want to reach me, my IG is Gang_official_Howard. You can find me once you go through the website. Check out the website, see if you're interested in everything like that. I don't think we have anything as far as practice or training right now, but you can check the website and get a follow up on events and everything. And to the people, respect the refs. You know, we human, but we understand and we really go out there and do a service, and we love what we do, and we appreciate the fans, the players, and the coaches. And I just pray that every player, coach, and everybody, fans, have a good and healthy season.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you. Go ahead.
Thank you, and appreciate you for welcoming me today. This was fun.
I'm glad, bro. I enjoyed it too. Yes. I really appreciate you. One, again, taking the time to be here. Mm-hmm. Also sharing your perspective. It's something that I, as a trainer, can benefit from. Players, coaches, parents, everyone can benefit from you having dedicated this time out of your day to come sit here with me, have this conversation. It grows the game, moves the game forward, which is what we're all here for.
Can I give one more shout out?
Absolutely.
Shout out to also Sarah, but also DeJuan Robinson, T. Cole, Erica, Jerron Dent, Tabari, and the rest of the BGO family, Mike Graves. If it wasn't for them, helping, helping me and being there for me during them tough games when I was, new, without them and Sarah giving me a second chance, I wouldn't be here right now.
Fire, bro. That is episode number 20 in the books. Peace.